I would like to introduce you to Ken Wall, a very godly man and my dad.
Today is Sunday, December 7th, 2025. Today I'm skipping ahead in 1 Peter, and I'm going to look at 1 Peter 5, verse 7. Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. This is a wonderful verse for everyone to remember and apply to your lives. I want to tell you how this verse relates to my mom and I. My mother, Joan Wall, could not have loved me more. She was a wonderful mother who was selfless in everything she did. And she always put my needs before her needs. She always encouraged me and helped to instill in me that as long as I tried, I could do anything in my life. When I became a Christian, she thought, well, that was nice, but it wasn't for her. In my early teens, she got one of my dad's friends named Randy Jeffries to take me to Christian Service Brigades, as she thought that being with other young Christian teenagers would help me make better decisions in life. Christian Service Brigades, it's similar to Boy Scouts, except their goal is to take teenagers and teach them about Jesus and how much Jesus loves them. Their uniforms are similar to a Boy Scouts uniform, and in Christian Service Brigade, you get to earn badges. My mom would always show lots of excitement when I came home and showed her my latest badge. I will always remember one time when the Christian Service Brigades had an outing out of town, which was on my birthday. She drove a long way to get to the outing, and she brought a large birthday cake for everyone to enjoy. That was just wonderful. When Darlene came on the scene, she showed as much love to Darlene as she did to me. As time went on, she could not have been a better grandmother to my 3 kids, Daniel, Christina, and Laura. When my kids were all teenagers, she found out that she had a thickening of her descending aorta, and eventually the aorta developed an aneurysm that the doctors told her was inoperable. Of course, this caused her to worry about this, but during all this time, she still wasn't a Christian. She ended up in the hospital not because of any problem with the aorta, but because she had pneumonia. My Aunt Edna, who was a Baptist missionary, came in one night to see my mom. She said, "Joan, you are obviously not doing very well, and who knows how much longer you have on earth. When you die, don't you want to see your grandson Daniel?" My mom says yes. And Edna once again told her all that she had to do was to confess her sins to Jesus and ask Jesus to make her a Christian. As Edna was leaving, she left a little card with a prayer on becoming a Christian. Edna came in the next morning, and my mom told her that she prayed to become a Christian. She also told Edna that now she was not going to be anxious about what happened to her, but from now on, she was going to trust in Jesus alone. That night, when she was still in the hospital, the aneurysm burst and she died instantly. The funeral was the following weekend, and Edna told me everything that had transpired. I got a real kick out of the fact that Edna had said to my mom about wanting to see Daniel as compared to myself, as the fact is that I am an only child. But regardless of it being Daniel or myself, I was so pleased that she had become a Christian and is now spending eternity with Jesus with a new perfect body that Jesus has given her. I really miss my mom, and I'm looking forward to seeing her, one day in the very distant future in heaven. Now, the reason I mentioned about my mom having an aneurysm on her descending aorta is this. A while ago, I had to get a stress test done because of a procedure that I was getting done in the near future. The stress test was so easy. You get on that treadmill, and slowly but surely, they increase the elevation of the treadmill and the speed of the treadmill. Since I am a long-distance runner, I was hardly even out of breath. When I came home, I complained to Darlene that the stress test was a complete waste of time. Well, 2 days after the stress test, I got a call from a heart specialist. He told me that it looks like I have a thickening of my descending aorta. Immediately, it came to my mind that this is what my mother died of. And I started to worry about this. I am sure that every one of you would also start worrying. The heart specialist got me to do an echocardiogram 2 weeks ago, and he set up an appointment for me on Thursday, December 4th at 10:40 a.m. via Zoom, since I live in Hamilton and he is in Toronto. During this waiting period, I remembered 1 Peter 5:7. And I prayed to Jesus and I told him that no matter what happens, I am not going to be anxious, but that I'm going to trust in him. On the morning of December 4th, before my appointment, I started writing an email to my friend Tom in Carlsbad, California. Here is what I said. Dear Tom, I just found out the results of my echocardiogram. The thickening of my descending aorta is nothing to worry about. We had a video chat and I was elated when I found out the good news. Darlene was sitting beside me and I immediately kissed her. Then as soon as the call was done, I got down on my knees and gave thanks to God for his goodness to me. As I said, I wrote this before my appointment as I was convinced that Jesus was going to be there for me. Now my appointment began with truly Darlene sitting beside me. The heart specialist told me that I am fine, and it looks what appears to be a thickening of the aorta is simply genetics. Just like I wrote in the email to Tom, I leaned over and kissed Darlene. And when the appointment was over, I did indeed get on my knees and I thanked Jesus for his goodness to me. It was after this that I pushed the send button on my email to Tom. May the good Lord be with you until we meet again next week.